Imagine if you had more money than just about anybody else in the world. Once you got past homes and cars and shopping and doing nice things for your family, your children, what would you do with the rest? Well, Microsoft founder Bill Gates has spent the last 18 years giving it away. Through his work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he has donated billions of dollars in an effort to fix what he sees as the biggest problems facing humanity. Today, he is out with his annual update on the foundation's progress. Mr. Gates, as I said, it's great to have you here. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want people to make sure we understand the numbers here, because I think oftentimes we use millions and billions and they almost lose their meaning. We're talking about your foundation, which has now given away more than $26 billion over the last 18 years. When you look at the way you've spent the money, what makes you the most proud?
Well, it's amazing how we've improved health for the poorest children in the world. In 1990, over 12 million children a year died, and now that's down to about 6.9 million. And a lot of that is the vaccine effort that our foundation and governments got behind, and we can do more.
And talk about an example of that. Last year, based on the work of your foundation in India, a country of 1.2 billion people, 27 million live births a year, there was not one new case of polio reported for the first time ever. Was that simply a money thing? Was that going in and throwing money at a problem, or does it take a lot more than that?
Well, we're down to 3 countries with polio, and so getting India done was a huge milestone. It's going to take a lot of money to finish it, about $6 billion more, but we're going to have to use satellite maps. We're going to have to use little GPS trackers to make sure the vaccine teams go where they're supposed to. It's a lot of technology, a lot of political will, meeting with leaders and making sure they prioritize this. But we want to make this the second disease ever eradicated.
Yeah, reading some of your letter to people who follow your foundation, oftentimes it's not just about putting money on a problem. Oftentimes you have to go into a country, I think Ethiopia would be a good example, and you've got to fix the organizational structure of the country and the infrastructure, because otherwise you put the money in and it's spent inefficiently.
That's absolutely right. You've got to go to the political leaders there, talk to them about their priorities, help them get the system set up, for example, to get medicines out to the rural parts of the country. And seeing how to do that is, made it very interesting work. We've got a lot of people in these countries who come up with solutions. So no, it's not check writing.
There are so many great causes out there, and you cannot help everyone. When you go to bed at night, are you overwhelmed by the idea that you can't help everyone, and does that trump the feeling of the pride you have in the people you have helped?
No, because we're seeing so much progress. We picked 2 things to focus on: helping the poorest in the world, often with health and nutrition, and taking the education system in this country and making it an engine of opportunity by reducing the dropout rate, helping the teachers get better using technology. And so we just dive into those and measure our progress, do the best we can.
You can help in huge ways with the amount of money that you have amassed. And we've heard of the generosity of so many other people like Warren Buffett and our own mayor, Mike Bloomberg, and so many others who don't get any recognition. The average person out there, I think, is generous. They want to be philanthropic, but they can't afford a lot. If someone out there can afford to give $10 to any cause, where would you want them to send it?
Well, there's a lot of wonderful choices. There's one called Donors Choose, where teachers put up projects, and those are often for small amounts of money. If you go to that website, you can help fund a thing a teacher's trying to do with their class. You can go to Save the Children, and they help mothers have safe births. You can give to the polio eradication campaign. Rotary International website takes donations of any size. So it's amazing that you can be sure these organizations are going to put your money to good use.
We make a lot of we talk a lot about the progress that you are achieving here. Can you compare for me, though, the feeling you get today from being able to give away millions and billions of dollars to the feeling you had as a young man being able to make your first $1 million? There's no crime in looking back and saying, boy, that was fun. Compare the feelings for me.
Well, what you really feel is what you've achieved. If a piece of software gets out there and lots of people love it, and it lets them get their work done in better ways, that's exciting. When polio finally gets eradicated, sometime in the next 6 years, that will feel extremely good. So it's when you can map that money into making the world a better place. And it feels the same. I love this work as much as I loved my work in software.
And just help me out at home in my last question here. You got 3 kids, right? I think they're about 16, 13, 11, around those ages.
Yep.
I have 3 kids. What age do your kids get cell phones?
We've chosen in our family that it's 13 where you get a phone, and you're still a little bit limited. But they're always coming home and saying, all the other kids have it.
Right.
I'm the only one without it. It's so embarrassing.
You just bought me 2 years. You realize that, right? Do you have your kids' passwords for email and things like that? Do you and Melinda keep the passwords?
Not the 16-year-old. She's independent, and that's always a very tricky issue for parents now.
Bill Gates, as I say, congratulations on the accomplishments of your foundation. It's always nice to have you here in New York. Thanks for joining us.